Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Ultimate General American Revolution, and we are beginning to embark on an epic crusade to push the English out of America and claim it for ourselves. If you are new to the channel and you have never seen this game before, what it does is it brings the epic real-time land and naval battles to a brand new real-time campaign map. The game is so much fun. It has awesome depth to it, which games like Total War are really lacking recently. And of course, it has the accessibility of the graphics and the systems. They're very simple to understand, but I imagine quite complex to actually master. And even though we lost our previous campaign, today I'm going to take everything I learned from that campaign and put it into this one. So this will be a great beginner's guide for anybody struggling. And in this one, I really want to try and break the British blockade to go ahead and start letting the flow of trade from Europe into the Americas and allow us to really start to fund our army and break the British. So here is our character. Off the bat, we've gone ahead and focused pretty heavily on willpower. Unfortunately, we didn't roll well on endurance, which is absolutely fine, but willpower should be good, and endurance is a stat that we can build up by just moving our character around on the campaign map. I did take the $10,000. I was debating between the reputation and the money, but I think overall the money is just going to be better, and reputation, if we're focusing on naval battles, shouldn't be a problem. They give you tons if you win, and they take away tons if you lose, so it's kind of a double-edged sword. But because of that, we've also focused in on taking the warship. This is going to be a 30-gun, I think, single-deck ship, and they also have 6 9-pounders, so can basically take out the majority of the British ship. We're also going to be playing on hard difficulty. This is kind of like the new normal. The balancing for this game is absolutely abysmal at the moment. That's one of the reasons the game hasn't quite made it to Steam yet, along with, you know, the game still being very much in early access. But because of that, right now, normal is basically the easy, and easy is basically very easy. So yeah, I recommend playing on normal in your first go. You're going to get some bonuses to help you out against the British forces. But we're going to be playing on hard. Hard is, I think, a very good thing when you're doing your second or third playthrough and you understand the game mechanics. It's still going to be very difficult. We're going to be outnumbered massively. With the changes to melee, it's going to be difficult. I think for the most part, it should provide us with a decent challenge where we're still always on the back foot and we're not going to be like just overrunning the British. We're going to constantly have to worry about invasions and other stuff. However, the British don't get all the bonuses like they did previously. In our last campaign, we also played on hard, but it was the day one. That was a day one campaign, and the British were getting like 25% more everything, and that was just a little bit too much. So we'll have to see how this one does treat us. So here we are on the campaign map. The campaign map does slowly expand as, I guess, the war continues and more states just decide to basically secede to us, and we, you know, kind of start getting more land and more theaters to fight in. And one thing I will quickly mention as well, I saw Apollo do this and I thought it was a great idea. However many likes we get is going to dictate the length of the next episode. So if we get 500 likes within the first 24 hours, the next episode will be an hour long. If we get 1,000 likes on this in the first 24 hours, we'll go ahead and do a 2-hour episode, and so on and so on. And this will be quite special just to the first episode. So yeah, if you want to see a longer episode in episode 2, you can drop a like down below. It really helps out the channel and I very much appreciate it. As of right now, I believe it is only basically all of this land up here in New Hampshire. We have parts of New York and then up into Canada as well. It goes all the way up to Montreal and Quebec as well. So the map does expand out pretty large. The overall size of a campaign map, they plan on going all the way down into Florida. So the entire coastline. If this is what we play in the entirety of this, is probably about 15% of the overall campaign map. So it is going to be pretty big. So as always, when you're starting the campaign, you want to take your fusiliers, which are actually your decent soldiers, and start bringing them down to Providence. These are going to be the settlements you want to try and take early on. Start getting that money flowing, start getting that supply network so you can obviously posture and have some battles with the British. I'm also immediately going to go ahead and actually build another regiment right here. We want to go ahead and get some more soldiers in. Again, it doesn't really matter who you do pick, and we're going to go ahead and just basically spawn in some militia. You could also arguably grab some artillery. It won't spawn with any cannons at the moment, but you could do it until we get the market. We can actually buy some. I'm going to grab skirmishers. I actually feel skirmishers are a very effective unit to bring to battle in the beginning of the game, because it basically allows you to tie up an entire British company right away with them, and they won't die as effectively. So we want to grab them quickly. We're bringing over our soldiers. Let's also make sure that we do go ahead and take a perk. I'm going to take stamina again. That is something that we're going to be really focusing in on. Melee, it can still be effective, even if it's not as effective as it once was. I'm also going to come up here, and I'm going to try and hold Portsmouth. The reason I want to try and hold Portsmouth is because it actually has a very, very good repair rate, so we can actually utilize our navy very effectively. We're also not going to send out the ship quite yet, because it does need to be crewed up, and we hopefully going to go out and try and capture ourselves another British ship. Ideally, we want to hold Portsmouth for as long as possible. I'm not sure how possible it is going to be on the new difficulty. They've actually changed things up pretty dramatically, I would say, so that the AI is way more aggressive, especially on the harder difficulties. We are going to try, and when we do fight the Battle of Concord, I'm going to bring back extra unit militia up here and again just try and hold it. And if we can't, that's fine. I'll bring down the navy around, and we'll put them into Newport, but we'll see what happens. I am also going to go and fight the Battle of Concord off screen. I'm sure you guys have seen this battle a billion times, but yeah, I'm just going to go and quickly win it and then come back later. I'll say as well, one thing that is dramatically different about this battle from previous iterations of the game, and really since they've changed melee, is you basically do just want to run out of a timer. It is much harder to actually go and achieve a total victory here. Not that it matters, it doesn't give you anything extra, you just do need to run down the clock. But basically what I recommend for anybody looking to win this battle and are struggling, you want to delay the British as much as you can with your skirmishers, making them kind of fight for every single inch of this territory. And then when you get back to the farm, basically just set up multiple lines for when the British do charge you. You can basically countercharge and get more soldiers into the fight. And again, just try and draw out their men. You can see I've got skirmishers actually doing an insane job over here. I don't understand how this unit is actually going toe-to-toe on the artillery fire and everything else, but they are, so I'm not going to complain. And yeah, just basically hold down the farm, just delay the enemy lines, hit them from multiple angles, and then have infantry line that can basically back up if the enemy do look to charge you, and that's how you win this battle. Also, charges can still be effective. Don't just think with new changes that charges are basically non-existent. You can still be very effective with charges. You basically just need to make sure that you hit them from multiple sides at once. Like right there, I hit the flank, and I also hit the central position right there, and I also have a lot of numbers as well. So you basically just have to try and make sure that you get enough men into the fight to basically turn it in your favor, even when you do have the worst guns. Like we should win this, right? I hit them from the flank, I'm shooting them, and I've got multiple units in. That should turn in our favor. You just can't be as brazen to charge every unit in the center. For example, like this, I should be good to do. So I can basically charge them from the front with 250, and then if I hit them from the flank, that should also be a big amount of damage. One thing the game really does need to do is it needs to show that visibly when you do outflank them and the British do start to get a morale drop. Right now, it doesn't really do anything. It just looks like, oh, we're just engaging. And if I do come in from a flank, there's no like pop-up saying, oh, well done, you've hit them from the, from a different position, and that's hurting their morale or anything. Like right now, I'm going to come in, and nothing really shows up, and that's something the game, I think, does need to add in. And boom, there we go. Victory is ours in the Battle of Concord, which is just really important. You need to make sure you win this, and as I said, you can delay the British. I was actually saying that it's unlikely you beat the British in detail. We actually did this time by just using our numbers. We do outnumber them pretty massively, but again, still, make sure you win this battle. You get so many bonuses, not only the reputation, which is nice to research, you also gain, I think, 4 or 5 free militia units, which you're going to want to disband, but that's the officers to rebuild up anyway. I'll also explain why you want to disband them, and of course you get the extra 1,000 civilian muskets, and as I said, a free regiment. So we're immediately going to take this regiment, and we're going to go and throw it up into Portsmouth. I think with 2 units there, it should be enough to hold it. Did we actually not build this? Oh god, that's my bad. I missed out on a day of replenishment. That could actually be dire. We could end up losing Portsmouth. We're also going to want to move our ship out as well to obviously engage with British ships. Hopefully we catch a decent one and continue our way on to Providence. So another tip right here as well, which is actually kind of important, if you want to actually end up killing this British regiment at Providence instead of it just routing back to Boston or whatever, you do only want to end up sending 1 regiment. Same with Newport as well. If you send 1 unit, they're going to actually stand and fight, and you can kill them in detail, get better loot, and actually break them down. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Is I'm going to take Pope, and we're going to come all the way down to Newport, and then these guys are going to push up to actually take take on Providence, and we can hopefully end up killing this unit. We're also going to keep an eye out on this for when this is fully replenished. We're going to get this to the front as quickly as possible. And boom, there you go. Also, we got our first naval battle here, which is good. Okay, so let's dive into the battle now. It shouldn't be too difficult. It is just a cutter. Luckily, we are also going into the wind, and they're going against it, which is great. So a tip I found out is you want to, of course, go up to main sails. You want to go on to cannon. Sorry, you want to go on to grape shot as well, so we can actually start killing the crew. We don't want to damage the ship. Really, it doesn't matter too much. And you basically want to aim for the front of the enemy ship. As much as possible. You want to make sure that you can basically hit into them as they're trying to turn, and then that way you can obviously get the easy grapple on. We'll obviously set the grapple up as well, so that if we get into range, we're basically going to immediately hit into them. And if we take a couple cannonballs, that's fine. And again, we want to basically hit that front of the ship. That's what we want to focus on, because if we hit that, then we basically immediately get the boarding on, and then by boarding them, we win the day quite easily. And here you go. This is perfect. So we will slow down the sails. Actually, we'll go up to full mast still as well, as we're not fully on. Boom, we can basically run down. Now, there is a risk that you might lose your main mast. I think on this battle, we should be okay because of the way that we are set up, and our ship is so much bigger, so their cannons don't actually have the depression to fire up and actually hit the hit our cannons. But yeah, now we basically just move through. Again, we're going fast enough. We're not fully next to them though, and that's mainly because again that we're going against the wind, so we can't get up to them. We should be able to. And again, I didn't do enough damage. I don't know how I didn't do enough damage. Okay, we'll stop the sails now. We should be able to get the grapple on now. I mean, I'd be very surprised if we don't. Yeah, there you go. The grapple's on. So we've got the ship, and we'll just kill the crew, which should be fine. Now, the problem is, I don't think we're going to have enough. Yeah, we literally can't put enough crew on to man it. And that means we don't get it, right? Because these are 85, and we need 80 men to man it, which I thought was kind of stupid. We can destroy the ship, or we can disengage, which is really annoying, because now I think we just don't get this ship. Which is, yeah, really, really annoying that we just don't get this ship, I don't think, because we don't have enough people. There's no way to, like, minimal crew it, because our officers are too big. So we do just lose it. I think we lose it. I'm going to just do that just in case we still get it. Like, I could destroy the ship, but we're just going to let it go without a crew, and I don't know if we get it or not. We don't actually get it, and our ship did just take casualties, annoyingly. So we have a question. Do we decide to go back to port now, or do we continue to look for a bigger ship? The good thing is, though, we actually killed one of the British ships right there. That sloop shouldn't be available. And now we know in future battles as well, whenever that happens, we can just engage. I probably am going to go back to port just to get back that crew, I think, and if we do end up in a battle, that's fine. The day is almost up, so we're going to go back and replenish the crew and go back out. Again, we're looking for a bigger ship. We can also see as well the USS Providence does have decent guns. Let's continue on our move here. Again, we want to make sure that we are putting pressure on the British, and I want to wait until Pope is actually out. So we can have a small engagement here until Pope is a little bit further out of the battle, so I can actually engage these guys. So boom, here we go. We are going to fight this now just with one regiment. Again, we want to make sure we try and crush these British forces in piecemeal. Now, they could just run away automatically, but I think, again, we want to make sure that we can kill them, because every British company, regiment we kill is going to be absolutely huge. And again, this is going to be a battle for it. So let's go ahead and form up here, get the general up as well. We're going to, of course, hold this and, yeah, just surround them and shoot them. We should easily have the position. And, yeah, they're very, very small. And, again, we'll obviously have the defensive terrain as well. So we'll get up there. And obviously start moving around the flank as well. We want to make sure that we focus down one unit in its entirety, and we also want to get into a hold position. This gives you 10% more cover, so ideally you do want to get in there as much as possible, and again utilize that. We are going to take more casualties this way as well, but as always, we want to make sure that we do as much damage to the British units as possible. And right now, boom, yeah, this one is not going to fare too well. We will move up now, and again start working on the other one. And there you go. You see, we basically cut these units down into half, and this should basically mean that it surrenders when we do win the battle. Even if they don't surrender after the first volley outside of the campaign map, we should have enough to still just straight up break them, and we get more loot as well, so it's always worth doing that. Luckily, this unit is very close to making its way up here. They're replenishing, and the crew should be good there as well. So yeah, hopefully they break after this. I don't know if they will. I'm hoping they will. You guys push down there now as well. So yeah, they should. Are they? Go fire, fire, fire. No, they're not going to surrender. That's unlucky. That really is actually quite unlucky. But I guess it is what it is. It will mean that Middlesbrough is going to be a little bit easier. And we're going to do exactly the same here at Newport. And we should also look to bring up the unit at Hartford. Just did the same thing here. And again, this should be a unit we can kill. This regiment is now fully replenished. We can start bringing these guys over, or at least basically fully replenished. We'll bring them over regardless. And what we probably want to do... Oh, we don't have another one quite yet. That's fine. These guys are building up in our navy. Yeah, our navy is good to go back out. So let's move our way back out. And they also repaired the sails. So it's really good. If you can hold Portsmouth, which is hard to do, you basically can repair your navy very nicely because you have 1.8 construction points here compared down into like Providence, which has like 0.2. You basically get triple the amount of repairing, which is super, super nice. Nice. We have that unit actually fully surrender. So that does mean we get a bunch of loot from beating them. Actually, yeah, there you go. Boom, they surrender. So we should get a ton more loot. We also have this regiment coming up as well. So we'll make sure we actually rout these guys really quickly. I'm also holding off on taking Newport because I believe you get a ship. If you take Providence first and wait like a day and then take Newport, I think you get an extra cutter, which is nice. We're also currently looking for wherever that British ship is. I guess we'll seek them out because we very much want to try and capture that undercrew British ship as quickly as possible, which is nice. These guys should also break immediately, and boom, there we go. We are commander-in-chief of a continental army, which is beautiful because this allows us to start researching, and researching we will want to do. So what I like to do is rush engineering department. It doesn't really matter. Quartermaster allows you to get more soldiers. I just want engineering because I want to basically start rushing towards the American-made muskets as quickly as possible. So that's what we're going to do. I'm also going to spend my prestige to basically get every single department we can, because the sooner we get them, the sooner we can start getting research done across the board. And there are some really good techs in there, so utilizing them to your advantage is nice. And boom, here we go. We have managed to catch it. Again, this is going to be a similar size ship, which is nice. You guys are still not there, which is annoying. Okay, cool. So we definitely want to fight this, and we basically definitely want to board the enemy ship. So if we take a look at them, they should be slightly undercrewed. Yeah, 130 men, which is great. They're also going against the wind, which is not good. This is actually a really bad battle for us, but we want to go to we want to go to Grape Shot because we don't want to damage the ship. We want to use that ship. So we want to do that. Obviously, full mask. We will obviously choose to shoot them. And I guess, I don't even know what's best to do. If we turn, like we fully turn and then go into them like that, maybe is probably better. Or we just go against the wind into them. I just feel like they're going to shoot the crap out of me. But as you can see, we can board and we can win this, and then we basically have two of the same ships. In these early battles, it unfortunately isn't very, like, competitive. You basically, because the American Navy is so, like, non-existent, you really just need to take every advantage you can get and kind of be a bit cheesy, which is obviously quite boring, and you want to have, like, proper big naval engagements. But again, this is still very early access, and, you know, the American Navy in the later periods where you're actually going to be dominating in these just aren't quite there. Hopefully my mask is going to be fine. If we lose that, it's really bad. But yeah, we want to basically just get aside them, set up the board. Oh, we just demasked them. Oh no, we demasked ourselves, but demasked them as well. That is kind of actually bad because it means we're going to have to repair that. And that's going to take some time. But I think we're holding Portsmouth here, so it's not the end of the world, I guess. And right there, we managed to catch them. Yeah, so that's probably if that happened with you and you're a bit like, oh, that's so annoying, you probably do want to just restart the battle. I'm not going to because it's fine. You know, it shouldn't take us too long to repair the mask in Portsmouth, and we are holding Portsmouth, which is fine. But yeah, we're just going to set up like this. We will go and match the ship speed, and it should be quite easy. Just make sure that we're constantly turning with them. And again, boom. Managed to capture them, got the boarding across, which is good. Yeah, that is actually really unfortunate that we demasked them and we lost our front mask. But boom, nice. And now make sure as well, make sure you send over a part of your crew so you do man the ship. And now we can go back to global. And we have two ships. We captured an enemy ship, which is great. On top of that, our engineering department is now done. Perfect. That's really good. And you can see our navy is looking pretty strong. Again, them sails are brutal. We don't want to get back to port as quickly as possible as well. We don't want to engage any more ships if we can help it, because again, we don't have a front mask, and we don't have a middle mask on one, and our front kind of anchor is done as well. I actually don't know what the front of the ship is called. Let me know. But yeah, we want to get back here as quickly as possible so the crew can build back up, and we can basically head out, and there shouldn't actually be any British ships right here. So we should be getting some trade in. It's not going to be a lot, but again, every little bit of sea, we get 150 gold a day through sea trade. That's actually really nice. One thing as well that's actually really important to do is make sure that you have good officers on these chief engineering departments. Right now we don't, but we're going to be deleting units very quickly. Ideally, I do want to delete these units if I can help it. Right now, I'm not, just to basically dissuade the British from coming to Portsmouth. But yeah, you want to basically delete these smaller regiments. And the main reason why you want to do this this is because these can only go up to 3. If you create a brand new militia unit, it goes up to 4 companies inside of the regiment. That way you can get artillery, you can get Minutemen, and you basically just want to rebuild these in Hartford where you have all your recruitment. That's basically what you want to do. But right now we are just holding Portsmouth until I can get fresh units up there. We do want to just go this way. And you also get really good officers as well. These are generally on these spawning units. These are going to be actual proper backer generals, and they have really good stats, which are again are very important because the stat of your general is going to determine this. So for example, if we stick back, it's 36 days. If I switch over to this guy who's slightly better, it goes down to 34 days. So you can see the better stats they have, the better they are at researching. Next, we're going to want to work on our quartermaster department again to spend the prestige. The sooner you get these, the sooner they start researching, the sooner you get stuff. Generally, when it comes to production, I generally just end up building maybe 1 in musket and one in ammunition. You want these to basically start leveling up, and the more of these you get, the better. So we are going to pay for 2 factories. It shouldn't be much, and with our sea trade, it's actually going to be pretty bountiful for us. So that's really, really nice. And then boom, we should have that. So now we can also take Newport. You guys can now garrison. Hopefully, you guys can force that surrender. You guys should be able to rout, and we get some loot there. We should also get the surrender, I'm hoping. We'll bring down the general. But yeah, hopefully we do. When they shoot, fire, fire, fire. Is that going to be enough? Nah, still not enough. That's pretty annoying. Oh, they do. Perfect. And boom, we get some more loot as well, which again, we're always happy with. The more guns we get, even if it is only a cannon or a musket or 2, that's absolutely fine with me. Quartermaster department is now done, and we also get 10 prestige from capturing Providence, which is great. So again, immediately we can come over here. We get a bunch more officers. Again, we'll look for ones with the best stats, and then boom, we can start doing this. Now, we could research wagons. I'm going to go for quartermasters because we're not going to be able to produce wagons anyway for a little while, so there's no real reason in getting it. We might as well get a research speed. That's going to help in general. And then finally, we are going to grab the artillery department, and boom, just spend the days. And then we'll probably work down to fusiliers and cavalry. I want to rush cavalry rather than getting a second general early on. Cavalry is going to just basically allow us to do so much more than anything else. And we're also now going to be able to start recruiting more armies as well. One of the other upsides as well for getting the quartermaster is now we can start buying guns. You can see we only have 3 brown besses, but we do also have 4 3-pounders, so we can actually go ahead and start building some proper units. You can also see with the quartermaster, our army report is all the way up. So let's do that. Let's start getting some cannon. Cannon is absolutely king in this game. It realistically is the best way to kill the British early on, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's start building them up. Again, another unit. And ideally, we do want to push up to Middlesborough kind of early on until the British start getting more and more men. I'm going to let the Navy repair up a little bit. Like, this mask wouldn't be too bad. We can also as well now start doing edicts now that we've got the engineering department, and that's what we're going to want to basically do. We have a couple decisions. We can either train, recruit, which is always nice. Provisions are really good. Stacking these up early is great. But we're going to just go mining. Mining's a great way because you get basically more resources to sell, which is really, really nice. So the more resources you get to sell, the better. Again, your industry really isn't pumping out quite yet. So one thing else you could also do as well is actually do better repair. That by doing that, again, it costs us a little bit more money. But it should, after the day's up, it should bump this up to 2. And then, again, that should speed up the repairing of your ships. Generally, you do want to just keep on bouncing from ship to ship. But it's fine. You know, again, the bigger ships you have, the better. And we're actually not in a massive rush, I would say, when it does come to Portsmouth, because again, we're not losing it, so we don't have to worry about that too much. You know, the fact that we're not losing it, and boom, there you go, we get a nice little cutter down there, and also 10 more prestige, which is really nice. You know, getting that prestige is just cheaper research, which is great. So boom, we actually don't have an officer now, which is quite funny. So we are going to probably have to get rid of someone, I guess. So we'll start working down on that. And yeah, we actually have to start getting rid of an officer. Now, we could do this one. I guess we will. Owen Smith. Yeah, let's get rid of him. Again, we'll take that, and we also get some more officers there as well, which is nice. And boom, we'll stick him in again. He's actually really good. So do we want him anywhere else? Would I rather him on my quartermaster? Probably not. Quartermaster isn't super important. Getting the grain mills is nice, but yeah, I think I'd rather him on the artillery, because here we get 4-pounders, which is nice to get another general and the 6-pounder guns as well. So boom, we'll stick him there. And again, ideally you want just, again, the best generals possible everywhere to start researching quicker. We also have a couple missions as well. So we have a mission right here to produce infrastructure inside of Hartford, and they want us to do production, which is really easy. Just click that and click that. Ideally, you do want to do these, again, if you have the money. Like the food one is actually pretty important if you can help it. You're going to need provisions pretty heavily throughout the game, so we are going to probably build some more of these as we get further on. Building the recruitment houses as well, really important. And obviously the more maximum recruits as well, and also available units. Not that you really go over it because you just don't have the economy. And we're also going to want to go and build a recruiting house here, because that's going to be really, really good. And then down here in Providence, when this is repaired, we're going to probably want to try and build schoolhouses everywhere as well. I'm a little bit less inclined to build schoolhouses in like Leicester, because I know for a fact that it is likely the British might just push their 5,000 men out of Boston there, and then we're pretty messed up. But again, we will take them advantages as much as possible. Pretty interesting thing you can do as well, and something I recommend you do, is building up your Fusilier units. These brown coat units are basically your best units in the game. They're very, very strong. So what you want to do is we want to basically go ahead and just build these guys up fully. It's much better having 6 very good units, even if they do just have bad guns, than having a lot of other units. And nice, here we go. The reinforcements of the British are moving down to Middlesbrough. And again, this is exactly what we want them to do. We want them to split their forces. If they were just to sit in Boston, that would be 7,000 men we couldn't deal with. Right now, though, by them reinforcing Middlesbrough, that's 1,000 men we can actually defeat in piecemeal, get more guns for ourselves, and basically beat them. So it's really good they're coming down here. And we're going to, of course, use that to engage them. As soon as these guys are built up, we're going to muster the soldiers. We're going to send 1,600. We don't want to like shake the hornet's nest, but we want to basically have enough to beat these guys. And these look like pretty small regiments as well. It shouldn't be too difficult. On top of that, our navy is also ready to push out again, so we will go ahead and look for some more engagements. It does seem like the British have coming in more ships here, which is good. We want to make sure that we basically stay away from the Boston Sea right here, the Cape Good Bay, because as you can see, the British have 11 ships and 400 guns. We want to make sure we avoid that as much as possible. So we basically want to stay here and maybe go into this sea region, and like this sea regions are a bit more feasible. But yeah, stay away from Boston, basically. And again, it's not a bad idea to try and change the production as well. Like, we don't need to be doing this anymore. We're spending that money, which we just don't need. So just go back down to producing wood and kind of go from there. Okay, and here we go. So this is going to be a really nice naval battle right here. This is a 5th rate, a frigate class. We have 280 men, so that is going to be a lot, basically outnumbering both of us. However, we are going to be using rowing boats to but our ships have 288 and they have 280. Yeah, these ships actually have more people on them, which is great. So yeah, this is going to be a perfect battle, and basically the only battle you want to take. I do recommend saving before you go out with your naval battles as well, because you don't want to end up in a situation where you just get screwed. The British basically have a first rate in here, and if it comes out, you just lose, and you lose about 20 prestige from losing a naval battle. So again, I recommend saving. There's no shame in it. Okay, so let's dive into the battle now. We basically just want to try and board them immediately and use our Marines to get stuck into the battle immediately. So again, we're going to break off the ships. We're going to change everybody to using rake shot. Again, if we can kill any extra crew, that's going to be really, really nice. It might not be a bad idea as well, just to like try and maybe shoot them a bit, trying to kind of sandwich them in between our ships if we can a little bit, because they do have 270 members, so that's not a bad amount of crew. So maybe we will try and get in here a little bit, kind of just like close them in. Again, you want to make sure that you aim for the center of a mast. We are going to be losing some men ourselves, so yeah, maybe literally just kind of just sitting here and like matching their speed and just shooting them like this is not going to be a bad idea. And then using these guys to kind of rake them down the bottom, because I imagine we're going to be killing more crew than they are. We want to make sure as well that both these ships are very close to one another. We are going to be taking a lot of damage through our ships, but it shouldn't be too much of a bad idea. Again, we want to just basically board them and then use Marines on our ships to jump out. That is going to be the goal. So maybe it's not actually a bad idea to just to board them. As long as we're quick enough with our boarding, it should be fine. Because again, our ships, this is like a 5th rate, so it does actually have a lot more units. So again, we want to try and really crash into them if we can. We don't want to let them out of our sight. And we want to make sure as well that we are utilizing both of our ships, kind of with their Marines as well. So here we go. We've basically caught them now. We're side by side enough. We just need to make sure that we don't allow them to really escape out of this. And we want to make sure this ship is very close behind as well so that it can get its marines off and throw them in. So again, we're going to probably go down to half sails on this so we can stop a bit more quickly. And as they close in, and as we continue to match their speed, again, making sure that we're going into the enemy ship like so. So we're tracking it as it turns and it doesn't really escape away from us like it's trying to do. And again, it doesn't really matter what ship we do board with as long as both ships can then get the marines off. So I think this ship actually is going to be the one to actually board, which is fine. Yeah, boom. So they're going to board now. So what we want to do is with these guys is immediately get these marines off. We want to also stop as well with our ship. We want these guys to be off so they can actually get into the ship immediately. So boom, there you go. They are ready to, they have now boarded, perfect. And we want to get these rowboats over here as quickly as possible. And it doesn't matter if we do end up losing any of these ships because we want these guys to get in. So as soon as we start to lose crews, these guys should now get in to help fight. Again, we got another 100 men. So I don't know what just happened. So I think we didn't get the crew inside the ship before they surrendered. So it counted as a defeat. However, they've gotten off their own ship and gotten onto one of my ships. So we're gonna reinforce this ship basically if we can. Yeah. We're going to get on this ship, and then we're gonna lose the battle, but we've taken their ship. Can I just, like, take both of these, then? Again, we have some shadow crew for some reason as well. Okay, if we just, can we just carry on playing and we take the loss, we take the prestige ship, but we capture all 3 ships? I don't really know what's happening right now. Again, the game is early access, but we're going to rock with this, I think. So yeah, actually not too bad. We ended up capturing their ship and we can just immediately dive in and this ship should be super easy to kill. I was trying to capture it at the end of the last battle, but annoyingly, like really annoyingly, oh my God, is that ship just, oh, that's their ship. Yeah, okay, so basically what I was trying to do, the annoying thing is I couldn't board this ship in that battle because the wind was against me and they weren't moving. So I literally couldn't get my ship to it. I spent about 25 minutes trying to get it. And then I ended up just trying to shoot it with grape shot constantly. And that didn't really work either. So what we're going to do is we're going to be just disbanding and basically just going to capture this. It seems like the crew routed afterwards, which is perfect. And boom, again, that's not exactly how smoothly I wanted that battle to go. I wanted to be able to capture all 3. There's a little bit of weird stuff there. I think what happened was I didn't have any ships on the battlefield, so it classed it as a defeat, even though I had rowboats who were about to go into the enemy ship to kind of keep on the fights. For a split second, I didn't have any ships on the battlefield whatsoever, and I think that's what was going on. But hey, this is a great start to naval gameplay. I've captured a 5th rate, which is 40 guns. I mean, I have 230 gun ships, and we can go back to Portsmouth and repair these. That's really, really good. Yeah, look at that. We, of course, need crew really badly, but that's not a bad navy, and these guys are leveled up as well. That's awesome, so we can make them even better at, like, engaging the enemy force. We have just caught oh, this is really annoying. There's actually a chance we might lose a ship here. So yeah, annoyingly, these guys are like engaging British trade ships, and the British trade ships do also inflict damage to you. So again, it's one of the risky reasons about being this far away from port as well. And again, I have like no crew on these ships, so chances are that I could end up losing it. Good, we didn't. Okay, get the hell back to port, sail to port immediately. We need to repair. The British are also reinforcing, so this is now a chance where we have to go for Middlesbrough. We can't let the British hold it, so we're going to want to basically get over here as quickly as possible, and we need to go for Middlesbrough before these 1,700 men arrive and actually start attacking us. So this is honestly an amazing start. Granted, our ships are going to need a while to repair. I'm not going to wait for them to constantly repair as well. It's mainly this ship, so hopefully these 2 repair a bit quicker. I don't know if there's a way I can set priority. Oh yeah, I can. So boom, let's make sure the other 2 ships are priority first, and then this ship can stay in port. We also have some upgrades as well, so we're going to want to basically improve. I actually don't know what's better, stamina or morale. I assume it's morale for boarding, and then we're going to take hand-to-hand combat on these ships, so they're just better in melee. On this ship as well, we're going to want to again boost morale and then make it better in melee, and then finally on our no, that's all of them. Okay, yeah, cool, nice. So we're going to push up to Middlesbrough here and engage them whilst we can. Then 1,800 are going to probably immediately come down, so we want to basically win a decisive battle. If we can get these guys into the battle as well, actually I'm actually fine with that. The more numbers we have, the better. So let's wait until they do reinforce here, because again, we're going to get basically the exact same here. So this is going to be a hit and run tactic. Oh, they also have cavalry here. This is great. If we can kill the British cavalry now, that is amazing. So let's just wait again a little second here. Boom. Now, another really good thing to do is actually just wait for the British cavalry to charge, and we just kill it in the auto-resolve. So I might give it a little bit more time. Oh no, is the British cavalry like inside the settlement? Yeah, the British cavalry must be inside the settlement. Okay, cool. But let's just engage them here. Let's fight this battle. And then we probably fall back and we rebuild up our forces. And then we push out to kill this new 1800 stack that has arrived. But again, this is honestly the perfect start to the campaign. In regards to the battle as well, we actually start off in their flank. I don't really know what's going on here, but I'm also not going to complain. So let's push up, I guess. We want to be fairly aggressive realistically, because we don't really want to give them any time to form up themselves. We have skirmishers, get our general over here. If they charge us, that's actually not the worst thing in the world. Let's get a cannon up as well. We of course want to move up here though to take the terrain, and then just start using our muskets to get around and hitting the enemy in the flank. Again, with the new change to melee combat and stuff, getting around and outflanking your opponent is like the most important thing nowadays. Be very careful with the cavalry though. That British cavalry is super scary. So we're gonna want to basically just try and make sure we have, you know, units ready to reserve wherever we need to. So wherever this cavalry goes, we can then deal with it. If it charges us in the center, we can then deal with it. If it charges us on the flanks, we can then deal with it. If it charges our skirmishers, we can fall back. Obviously, I don't know if it's better just to shoot them or just to like focus in on them. So right now, I'm gonna get this cannon up here as well, like that, and probably bring you back now. Yeah, they're gonna charge our skirmishers. I'm not sure if it's good just to charge it or just shoot it, because we can all fire into this and probably do a lot of damage, right? Yeah, it's a good volley, and then we probably charge it. Again, we want to make sure we just kill this, and then we have you two ready to, again, deal with any other charges. So you're looking fine. You're looking fine. You guys should be charging that for sure. We've got another unit of militia coming over. The cannons are now set up, so they can start doing some good damage. And now we can start moving around the flank. Again, it doesn't look like they're going to be charging me anywhere specifically, which is good. And we should also be in hold position as well across the board. This is going to give us just that little bit extra cover. We also have all of these guys as well. These are reinforcements. Either way, they should be coming up as we charge in. Again, enemy units coming in, so let's just make sure that we probably reinforce there. You guys need to focus them down. That charge is going to be pretty brutal if they're going to come in. Are you guys coming in? I'm not sure. Either way, let's keep on reinforcing this. Let's charge in more men. Make sure the general's here as well to buff up the soldiers. Killing that cavalry early is going to be so big, though. I can't wait for it. Even if we are going to be losing some infantry here, that's fine. The casualties don't really matter. Again, you guys get stuck in there, please. Even though we are still loot, it's crazy how like effective enemy melee is now. Like, it's actually insane how many units. I have like 600 men here, and we're just getting shot to pieces. So I actually think maybe it's actually a better idea to shoot the cavalry now, like realistically. Like, it actually might not be a bad idea to start shooting the cavalry. Let's change our target there. Bring over some more men here. Because, yeah, we are going to be losing this, like, for sure. So I think, yeah, as I said, I think, honestly, we just shoot into the position. And just, because these guys will come back. Again, we're going to be losing a lot of men here. But, yeah, I think shooting is the way forward, right? With the new melee changes, until we get, like, brown besses or something a little bit better. Yeah, we're going to be struggling for sure. Yeah, and even if we do friendly fire, you know, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So let's just set up again. If the cavalry comes in, we shoot it. And just whittle down their numbers until they're not effective. Because we are winning this missile off as well, which is good. Let's bring you guys around, push you guys up a little bit. Cannons are doing their thing. Going to probably need a little bit more soldiers on this side. And there you go. Boom. Nice little victory right there. Surprising the AI did decide to break as early as they did. And annoyingly, we didn't get to kill the cavalry. But that's not a bad battle. Like, again, I would have loved a more of a prolonged engagement if we can get some more, like, casualties. Again, that's always great if we can, like, maybe take off an extra unit here. Again, just take out companies. Again, you can wipe out companies inside of a regiment if you get good shots off of them as well. So not the most decisive battle we were looking for, and we did end up losing a lot more casualties to that cavalry, but we learned a valuable lesson. I haven't really fought cavalry in the new update because the British only get one regiment of them. So, again, that's good to know. That's good to know that it's better probably just to commit one unit and then just shoot the crap out of that melee as much as possible. We also did, yeah, pretty much get a ton of loot here as well. If we can make a one unit surrender, that's also really good. We definitely want to get this loot if we can. So they're going to run back to Boston. They are reinforcing this as well. So I basically want to grab this loot and then run away to Providence. Let them come down south. But we definitely also want this loot for sure. Nice. That was about 30 rifles. Like, we'll take that. The units that didn't really engage much will go there. And then again, we're going to send these units back to Hartford. We have another unit right here as well, Daniel Porter, who has some decent stats. Again, we're going to get rid of him. Not only because we want the units, but we want the general. I want to be able to stick the general in a position where he's going to be very useful. So he's probably better here, even though he's not great. He's much better at, yeah, the bottom two there. For now, though, it's probably fine, right? It's 40 days compared to the 41 days. So the other guy's actually better right now. I think the top stats may be a little bit more important. That's fine, though. We'll leave it on there. We can even make another general later on. That's fine. Yeah, right there. That's the Navy we want to avoid with everything in our power. It really is. It might actually be a bad idea as well to build a recruitment house up here just so we can replenish soldiers, and using Portsmouth as an aggressive place. I'm just very scared about losing it, and we also don't want to like waste our replenishment. But it wasn't a bad first battle. These guys, again, we'll keep an eye on what they do at Middlesbrough, but I think basically they're just going to resupply it, and then we have another big battle there momentarily, which again is good. If they do decide to come down though, we are going to be, yeah, they're just reinforcing, and the nice thing is Middlesbrough's not going to be able to replenish the soldiers we just killed. So again, the cavalry's still going to be annoying, but that's fine. So let's just send these guys back to Hertford. We're going to build up this unit of Fusiliers to a fully strength unit. They're also dispatching some men back as well, which is great for us. We've got another unit of Pennsylvanian units. Again, hopefully another good commander. Ellis, good top and bottom, so maybe actually pretty decent. Slightly better. We saved ourselves a day there, which again, every day does matter when it does come to warfare. And I'm probably going to build up another unit of militia. Again, we don't want to go too crazy, but I think for now, it's probably not a bad idea to get some more cannon in the army. So we're going to build up 3 units of militia and then a unit of pounders for sure. We're going to probably have to buy some more cannon. Luckily, we have the money for now, so let's buy another 4 cannons. That should be enough to resupply them. And again, we're being very conservative with our army right now. And nice, we're actually not only leaving that many men there, which is good. The Navy is building up nicely. Again, I'm really loving this Navy. We should be able to go and hopefully capture some more ships. The extra money, the extra 100 gold, it adds up. You know, it basically almost pays for the fleet maintenance, which is nice. Okay, this isn't good. I think they're going for Portsmouth now. They're starting to send soldiers north, so we have a decision to make. Do we... I mean, the fleet is going to have to leave at some point. I just need them to be strong enough not to die. As long as they have enough crew across them, then it's fine. Like, I probably need to stick this ship to priority number 1 so it replenishes first. Because I think they might go and just reinforce Salem, which will be fine. But I think there could be a good chance of coming up here. So let's try and replenish the crew of the USS Providence. And then we're going to probably take the long journey down to try and get into Newport. I think that it has to be the play. Okay, we have to be very careful as well now. It does seem like the British have reinforced this section of the sea with 5 ships. And they have 210 guns. Whereas we have, we have 100. So we're going to probably leave Portsmouth with our Navy and start making our way to Newport, because these sea regions are a little bit easier to protect. And that is obviously a decent enough Navy. I'm going to let them build up, though, a little bit more. But I think as long as they have enough crew, I don't care really how strong they are. But it doesn't look like they're going to take Portsmouth, so that's also a positive. Quite high prestige. I think I'm going to start working. This isn't something I generally do, but I think for this Let's Play, it'd be really cool to get these early. So I'm actually going to go and spend a bit of extra research points on engineering. You might be like, Jackie, why the hell are you boosting goddamn engineering out of everything? Well, I really want to get down to these U.S. muskets and then the Virginia 76, and then maybe work over to the rifles as well. Some of these rifles are insane, and if you can get them on the go early, yeah, you're laughing all the way to the bank. And okay, I think that is where we are going to call it. I think that is where we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. I think it was like literally probably one of my best starts yet, and I'm really happy with that. I think it's going to help us out massively going forward. And yeah, the prestige is going good. We're working quite nicely on the skilled craftsmen. One thing I've definitely learned is there's no real reason to rush Fusiliers, because as you can see, you just don't really have the officers to go ahead and build up and use them. Like, I'm already out of officers and I only have militia. Again, a lot of the officers went to these 2 big Fusilier units, but I think that's worth it, having like 2 good ones. But yeah, again, like the army size is always going to be painful. You need to make sure that you build officer houses, which we are doing across the board. Yeah, recruitment house here. And then maybe Providence can go ahead and grab a schoolhouse as well. But yeah, so that's good. Our Navy's looking good. Again, it's going to take some time to repair it up. And I think we're going to probably, after it's repaired, take the long trip down. Honestly, as well, might be a good idea to go and change here back to repair for a short period of time, just to get this up to 2. Again, we definitely want to gain more resources. I mean, to be fair, we are building a lot here as well. So spending our money for construction isn't bad. We can also train our soldiers as well. Try and start leveling up them so they just get a little bit stronger, some better stats. Again, it's going to cost us ammunition, and you can also go do this as well to start training the men. We actually have a decent amount of ammunition, 68 right now, and we can also start. We are producing it as well, which is nice. So that's going to help us out. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the first episode. As I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, if this gets 500 likes, we'll do an hour special next episode. If this gets 1,000 likes, we'll go ahead and do a 2-hour special for the next episode. So let me know. And again, it's only within the first 24 hours, so just do that. If you have any more tips on what I should do. I think next episode we'll do a big battle for Middlesbrough, try and wipe out as many of these basically 3,500 soldiers as possible. The Navy will come down. I might lessen the garrison of Portsmouth when these ships are a bit more replenished, and then bring them back down, and then almost kind of just give up Portsmouth. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to have, but I think it's not necessarily, you know, super important. If we can get Middlesbrough, we can then take Fort Stephens, and then start to work on Salem and Boston. I definitely do want to win the land there. And we are starting to hemorrhage money. We are just going to start losing. However, look at that sea trade, 500. Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, starting to break the British blockade is very nice indeed. Yeah, of course, drop a like, drop a comment down below. Any more tips, leave them, and I'll see you guys in the next one.